Dom. And Ben came down with the flu right as we were going to the AYHL playoffs. So the only kid available was this 15-year-old, 6'4", 170-pound kid, Dom Bassy. And we brought him up, and the first shot of the game handcuffs him from the blue line, hits him in the collarbone, pops up in the air, and they put the rebound, and we're down 1-0. He went on to save something like 75 of the next 78 shots that he faced. We won in overtime and lost on the last-second goal in the championship. But that was my first experience with Dom. He was drafted by Youngstown in the USHL, is committed to Colorado College, and he's the 24th rated goaltender in North America according to Central Scouting. And Joe, I think you've seen Dom here and there a couple times. Just any thoughts on him as a potential NHL player?
Yeah, I think the first person I would kind of shout out is Jason Wolf. He's done a great job developing a ton of goaltenders, not just guys from the area, but just anybody that's come into contact with him. And he's done a ton of work with Dom and gotten a chance to see him play a couple times, whether it was with Gonzaga or for Team Maryland. And the big thing about it is that goaltenders traditionally take a little while to develop, but he seems like a kid that's kind of found his stride, and I just hope the best for him in the draft coming up this weekend.
Dom did make an appearance in our Sunday league last year, had one outing with us, and good luck to Dom and his family. Dom and his family have been around local hockey for years, and it's just a great story. Anytime a kid from our area can get mentioned as a possible draft pick. Up next, we have our Sunday Elite League wrap-up, and then after that, we'll be back to move on with the rest of the show. Here is your DMV Hockey Sunday Elite Hockey League SEHL weekly report for Sunday, June 16th, 2019. After 2 weeks of regular season play, all 4 teams in the SEHL are tied up with records of 1-1. Looking at the goal differential after 2 weeks of play, Ben Hammock's Hosers are top of the standings at +4. Jim Candelina's Grinders are second at +2. Joe Vonakis' Flow are third at -1, and my team, the Saucers, is fourth at -5 after surrendering 9 straight goals in an 11-4 loss on Sunday to Ben Hammock's Hosers. The game did not start out quite that well for the Hosers, however, as the Saucers jumped out to a 4-2 lead early, much to Hammock's chagrin, as he was not thrilled with those early results after the first period. Scott Lowe here for the DMV podcast with General Manager of the Hosers, Ben Hammock, after the first period of Sunday's game against the Saucers, trailing 4-2 after the first period. Ben, you can't be real happy with what you saw out there.
No, it's a classic story, I think, of where our team probably is more talented but just not doing the work. What's that old saying that hard work beats talent every time if talent doesn't work hard?
You didn't seem real pleased with the play of new acquisition, Coach Joe Vonakis, who is filling in on D for your team today. He has 3 points, unfortunately 2 for the wrong team.
As he stands there staring at me while I'm doing the interview here. No, I expect more out of him with his experience, and certainly it's one of those situations where it's do as I say, not as I do. He's got to lead by example. That's the type of person he should be.
What do you guys need to do to come back?
It's just a matter of getting our key players to play the game, to dominate. We have that ability, we have that skill, and now it's just a time of showing it.
Go throw a water bottle, get him fired up.
Yeah, we'll do.
Whatever Hammock said to his team between periods must have worked wonders, as the Hosers, as we said before, scored 9 straight goals en route to the 11-4 victory. In an unusual twist of fate, however, for the Saucers, their goalie, Matt Morrison, was part of a 3-goalie rotation on the day, with all 3 goalies rotating equally so that they could have equal playing time playing for both teams. Somehow, my team, the Saucers, had to play against my goalie for 2 consecutive periods, and he managed to shut us out with a miraculous 32-save performance. I say miraculous because in this league, you're lucky to get a 1-period shutout, much less 2. And Morrison was spectacular in the 2 periods and was very happy with his effort when we spoke to him after the game. Scott Lowe with the DMV Hockey Podcast here with Matt Morrison after an 11-4 victory in Game 1 of the Sunday Elite League. It was the Hosers over the Saucers. Now, I'm going to file a grievance because you're on my team and played against me twice, 2 periods out of 3. not supposed to work that way, but you had 30 saves and gave up no goals in 2 periods. Usually to give up no goals in 1 period in this league is unheard of, but 2 periods is phenomenal. What was going on today?
Our defense was stellar today. Some 2-on-0s, some 2-on-1s here, but we were able to effectively shut it down. I got lucky a few times with the post and all, but our team just played well overall. After that first period, came out strong and just came to beat them.
What happens for you, like when the saves just start happening, and do you feel different? Is it any different, or just reaction?
When I just making those big saves and all the 2-on-1s on those odd man rushes gives me a little bit of confidence booster. I feel like, okay, I can just do this. This is my game right now. I don't feel like I'm down on myself at all, and it's just like my time.
All right. Well, thanks, Matt. Good job this week, and you need to do that for us next week, not against us.
Yeah, thank you, Scott.
Thanks, buddy. Offensively, the Hosers were led Sunday by Stephen Holliday, who is a USHL first-round draft pick a year ago, playing for the Dubuque Fighting Saints this year and committed to North Dakota. He and OHL prospect Bryce Montgomery both played in the game for the Hosers. Holliday finished with 2 goals and 3 assists. Evan Donnelly, Howard Husky 18U last year, had 1 goal and 3 assists, while Lacey Eden, a member of the women's U.S. 18U national team, had 2 goals and 1 assist, and her brother Liam, who plays with the University of Maryland's ACHA Division II team, finished with 2 goals and 1 assist. Moving on to Game 2, the Flow outscored the Grinders 3-2 in the third period to take the 7-6 victory, and even everyone's record at 1-1 on the year. Tyler Christ, who now plays for Milton Academy, had the unassisted game-winning goal in the third, and he finished the contest with 2 goals and 1 assist. Justin Stelzer, who plays at Stevenson University, also had 2 goals and 1 assist, while Ryan Gilroy, who is heading off to Albertus Magnus to play NCAA Division III hockey in the fall, had 2 goals for the Grinders. Stephen Holliday, playing in his second game of the day, finished with 1 goal and 3 assists to earn the second Star of the Week honors, while Christian Ripley, a Stevenson University forward, had the hat trick with 3 goals to earn the third Star of the Week honors in the Sunday Elite League. So with that victory by the Flow, they improved to 1-1. The Grinders dropped to 1-1, and again, all 4 teams in the Sunday Elite League are 1-1 after 2 weeks of regular season play. This week at Reisterstown Sportsplex on Sunday, June 23rd, we have more great action. We invite you to come out and see the NCAA future Division I players, the NCAA Division III players, Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 junior players, local AAA and AA players, as well as prep school players who have grown up in the area playing and moved away. They're all back home for the summer. We have great hockey action at Reisterstown Sportsplex every week. This weekend, on Sunday, the 23rd, we have the Hosers versus the Flow at 4:15 p.m., followed by the Saucers versus the Grinders at 6 p.m., And a quick reminder that our 3 stars of the week from Sunday, June 16th, were Matt Morrison, who recorded a 2-period 32-save shutout in the Hosers' victory over the Saucers. Stephen Holliday, USHL player who's heading off to NCAA Division I South Dakota in a couple years. He was the 2nd star with 5 points. And Christian Ripley of Stevenson University was the 3rd star with a 3-goal hat trick. And that's your SEHL Sunday Night Elite League wrap-up for June 16th. Coach Joe, pretty good week. You guys came back. Your team, you actually played in the game and won, and actually general managed a team that won. So everybody's 1-1 after 2 weeks. The commissioner must have done a hell of a job helping put this thing together.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't put any work behind the scenes in, but it lucked out because we had a great mix of skill and experience. Some older guys, some younger guys, some guys right in the middle, and it's fun to watch. I mean, we talked about it earlier. Just to get all the kids from the area or close by together, it really is something special to see everybody on the ice at the same time. And for me, I get to work the door, so I'm pretty lucky in that aspect. And it's fun to watch even from the bench.
So we're back at it again this Sunday. We mentioned the schedule for the games this week a little bit earlier, but coming off the Stanley Cup, we hold ourselves accountable, Chenny. I think you and I both picked the Bruins to take Game 7, and Coach Joe was the only one to take the St. Louis Blues. Coach, you were the big winner this week.
Yeah, mostly because they came to the Naval Academy right at the end of their training camp. That probably had something to do with it. Got a chance to talk with Coach Ott and some of the boys. The college hockey guys actually were loving the Naval Academy experience. But no, I think it was an awesome playoff to watch. To see a team in last place in January come all the way back, rally, and end up winning in Game 7, it just shows the parity of the league. I mean, we were talking about how difficult it is to not only get the playoffs, but to win at any level, and to see it at the NHL level where they're coming back, and it's unbelievable. And I think it's good for kids growing up and playing youth hockey to see how anything's possible. You just got to stick with it and buy in.
Chenny, you've played at a higher level than everybody in this room, obviously, and
debatable.
About eight levels higher than I did. So you've been a part of teams that have played at that level, and everybody's good, right? You get to the pros, everybody's a great player. Some guys make it to the NHL, some guys don't. But what goes into turning a team around that just they couldn't get out of each other's way? And then, they go back to a fight in practice between Bobby, Bortuzzo and Zach Sanford, who actually played in the finals and was awesome. Actually threw up during the parade too. Keep the change. But how does a team that everybody's good? What makes that team turn it around so quickly and make it last into the finals like that?
I mean, so my team kind of went through a little rut this year too. I mean, we weren't last in the league by any means, but we went on, I think, an 11-game losing streak. And, I mean, part of it was at the end of that losing streak, we kind of just got together and had fun as a team again. I mean, it's not fun when you're losing 11, so you got to kind of create your own fun. But then I think goaltending is huge. I mean, whether you talk about January and their start or just their whole run through, I think Bennington, for the most part, won them that cup. I mean, they had great players too, but I mean, especially that last game, he steals you a couple saves there, and the game could have been 2-0 in the first Boston. So, I mean, I think that's one of the most important things when building a team is you build from the net out. And I mean, you've never really seen a bad goalie win a Stanley Cup, so I think that was important too. But I mean, I wasn't there for the fight. I don't know how it changed the mood in the locker room, but it certainly does bring guys together. After having an event like that, so just kind of creating your own fun when you guys aren't doing well on the ice helps out a lot. If you just continue to be sad about it or in a bad mood, it just gets worse. So you gotta kind of stay mentally tough and just continue to find a way to have fun. And I mean, the goaltending certainly helped too.
I think for Caps fans, it was cool to see another team win for the first time after we experienced that last year, and they've certainly celebrated. I don't think it's quite to the level of Ovi and the boys, but they've had a good time with the cup and done a lot of great things in the community with it. And I think it's pretty cool how social media kind of makes us all a part of it these days. Looking at next year, the Blues still not getting a whole lot of respect. At the odds for next year's Stanley Cup, looks like they're down the row a little bit, maybe sixth at 12-1. The Tampa Bay Lightning odds-on favorite after a record-setting regular season, but getting swept in the first round. And we just found out today that Ryan Callahan has a back injury. His career might be over. Not that he is one of the top guys on the team, but certainly a glue guy. I mean, that's if anything, they can't afford to lose their glue guys. They got the talent.
Yeah, I think as a player not nearly on that level or playing at that level, having any major injury, and I'm sure guys can speak on it, it's tough. You get to a point where you've done everything up to that point to prepare and to play the game you love and enjoy it with people you love being with. It's not easy. And for me, I found out that it wasn't necessarily the easiest thing to do. But once you get to it, you learn from it, and you learn from it for the rest of your life. And for him, I really do hope the best, and I hope everything works out and he's able to play, because for him to get to that level and to play at pretty much the highest point of his career with Tampa, where he's kind of the engine, it would be tough for that to be pulled out from under him. But at the same time, I'm sure he has other things going with his family. And again, we wish the best, absolute best for him, and hopefully he can get a second opinion and stay out there.
Chenny, hockey's one of those sports where you can't have 12 skill guys and win, right? You got to have the guys who play the roles and embrace those roles and really give the coach whatever he needs and whatever he asks for. In the NBA right now, it's like, let's collect as many superstars as we can and get to the finals. Baseball, you spend as much money as you can on the big sluggers. In hockey, you need guys like Callahan, right?
Yeah, I think I remember watching the 24/7 he was in back in 2011, and I just remember they interviewed his parents. They're from Rochester, and they just kind of grew up in a blue collar city, and they said they implemented a lot of that onto Callahan, and